Rumble wasn't the one who was just necessarily the most devastating their team. Malphite actually, never mind. I take it all back. Malphite, it was the right ban. So Malphite just absolutely shuts down a lot of AD carries and is just a devastating pick.
Yeah, but
they do ban Rumble too. Oh, okay.
But then again, Curse, I mean, the Yorick pick and the swap was
Well, it
really
could have worked. No, it's a good strategy when you run it right. They fell behind very quickly, and everything that should have been in their advantage was going the wrong way. mTw was able to win exchanges that Curse needed to win.
So with these bans, Cassiopeia open, Ari open, Rise open, Karthus open, there's a lot of options.
Yeah, but this first pick, who do they have open?
Well, Alistar's no longer an issue here.
They could just go with the Shyvana.
They could.
Just be safe and grab their jungler, or go with Nunu. Since they're very comfortable with picking that out. There's not really anyone in particular that I'm noticing that they would want to grab, unless they want to grab a Karthus. They could try and do that, but none of the teams that we've been seeing would be that threatened by Karthus. They're actually going with the Maokai. So, it's kind of, it's a very aggressive jungler. I mean, Maokai can work with a number of teams, and his ultimate is always nice.
But then again, I think Curse may be a little bit hesitant to go with the Karthus. Game 2 versus Dynamic didn't do too great. But Maokai grabbing a jungler, not too bad. Gonna go. Curse is gonna go ahead and secure them for himself. Does great against AOE damage, fantastic ganks, and hopefully he can get the ball rolling. Ezreal being considered. Will we finally see the Soraka today, please?
I doubt it. But we'll see what they end up picking. I mean, there's a number of strong champions left. They could go ahead and grab someone like Vladimir. Oh,
Called it!
I mean, Vladimir's, Soraka is a very strong pick, and Ezreal Soraka is a very strong lane. The way that these teams have been playing, it seems against their, MO to pick a Soraka. Like, it hasn't been their style of play, so.
Yeah. But then again, this could also set up mTw to also grab the now not banned Karthus too. You can have that global heal, you can have that global damage, and remember, the cooldowns may have been nerfed, but they're still good.
Yeah,
they're still good.
We'll have to see. I'm kind of curious. That would be kind of an interesting pick. See Skarner in like the top lane or something. It's not going to be a Skarner most likely, but
Sona.
Yeah.
Element's going with the Sona once again. More than likely, it worked out. It worked out okay. It worked out okay for him game 1 in the first set versus the Nunu Vayne. And having that ult available too can be pretty devastating.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Graves, Sona, you have a lot of burst and a lot of AoE. So if you catch Soraka, you can actually just insta-kill Soraka with a Graves Sona combo if you catch her in the Sona ultimate.
All right. So now it's just a matter of what mTw wants to go ahead. You still have your mid, you still have your jungle, you still have your top lane. That's the thing though. Rumble's been banned out, Malphite's out, Nocturne's out. Just a lot of their go-tos are pretty gone. Granted, there is Cassiopeia is open, Darius is open. Going back to what they've played in the past, Vlad is open.
Cassiopeia would be kind of a weird pick at this point, though. So Cassiopeia is something you would wait until the end. Vladimir, would be fine because you can just run Vladimir in almost any comp and in any lane.
Could be going into jungle, or he could be going top lane too.
Is mTw gonna? They could run like a Rise. Is Rise open?
Rise is open.
Rise and Lee Sin, and then save their top lane for last.
Good.
We'll have to kind of see what they go. Yeah,
hey, there you go.
So it's actually a fairly common comp to you run Rise, Lee Sin, Ezreal, and Soraka, and you have a very tanky team. It's very hard to kill, but you also have a lot of great single target burst, and the Soraka, it helps that comp a lot. So that's kind of part of what goes into it. So you have a really safe bot lane, and then everyone's just kind of unkillable as the game progresses.
Night Jackie going with the Vigar once again, seeing if he can't have a little bit better luck with it this time as opposed to last time. But then Rise, he does get it very up close and personal. Those stuns are going to be a little bit easier for Vigar to actually hit this game too. Granted, Deal's not going to scale as much because Rise doesn't really build that too much AP, but it's minimal. Who cares?
Well, that's the key, is that Rise, he's a short range champion.
Yeah.
Vigar has this long range disable, so you can just completely shut down Rise as far as the disable's is concerned, and then if they can combo on him, that can work very nicely. So we'll see if that's actually what he ends up going. Morgana is open, and they could go Morgana and just try and engage on them. That would also kind of work if they ran the Morgana with the Sona. But as I've kind of said before, Curse, they kind of like to run the Vigar and Morgana interchangeably almost. I've seen them run some comps before where they'll run the exact same comp and then just switch out whether they're running Vigar or Morgana. And it depends on whether or not they want to be initiating and be the aggressors, in which case you run a Morgana and you just head on into the enemy team. Or if they're looking to sit back and try and pick people off, in which case Vigar, he has a little bit more range and stuff. So that kind of works out. And Warwick, that'd be kind of interesting. It's been a while since I've seen a Warwick. He is very strong in the top lane. Darius makes a little more sense. So
Darius does make more sense, but game 1, set 1, mTw, this is exactly the same matchup they had top lane, and that didn't really work out too well.
But there was a time where Darius in that match was still doing very well against Jax, and actually almost getting a number of kills and almost shutting him down. It's just that as the game progresses, Jax becomes more and more of a beast, which is the issue. But Darius, it's a full-out, just tanky single-target comp, and the idea is burst someone down really quickly. You pull them in, you snare them, whatever, you burst them down, and then you try and snowball the game. And their last game, it was also kind of a snowball comp. It's just a different kind of format. This is more of a tanky, physical damage snowball comp, though a lot of their damage does come from Ryze.
Yep. So, this is it. These are your teams going in for Game 2, Set 2. If mTw does win this, they're going to win the qualifier straight out, $1,000 bonus and first seed. If Curse wins, we're going to the last and final game of the night. But also keep in mind, though, that just whoever wins, both of these teams are qualified. Both of these teams are coming to the live event, along with Dynamic, along with Legion, and also our invite to TSM, as well as our. You also got 3 more Asian team invites. Who's as soon as we find out who they are, we'll let you know. But rest assured, both of these teams, both Curse and mTw, will be coming to the live event.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I really like mTw's comp because of how successful similar comps have been run in the past. Lee Sin can constantly feed Ryze Blues. That's really nice. But then it's just the fact that the shields and if Darius gets an engage on someone, all of a sudden everyone is on top of you on the team, and it's very easy to focus fire this kind of team comp. So you can focus fire someone very easily. The issue is going to be for them. How they control against the AoE, and Jax in particular, if Curse is able to shut down Ryze, which is kind of Vigar's going to be Vigar's goal, to protect Graves. It's all about protecting, their carries. They have a lot of CC to do that. And then if Vigar is able to pick off Ryze, then very easily they're going to be able to win the rest of the fight, because Jax with his dodge can beat the physical champions, and they can kind of negotiate the rest of the fights. But it should be kind of interesting. Darius versus Graves, the hook outranges Graves' attack, so he will have that advantage. So that's going to make things very difficult for Graves. Graves does have his quick dash and whatnot, whereas Darius, he has to just kind of run through everything and run through their CC and not. So that's going to be kind of difficult for Darius, but if he ever gets in range of Graves, then he can just hook him back. Graves will die. And also that's going to kind of dissuade Graves from dealing a lot of the damage that you would normally expect, because he's in constant fear of either Ryze getting him or Darius getting him, or even Lee Sin getting him.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about Lee Sin and his ganking options. And I'm looking squarely, actually I have both top lane.
Yeah, both junglers, top lane. Mid lane, after a couple of levels, will work for Curse. It's kind of weird that mid lane, Maokai is generally his strongest gank is for mid lane. And he's one of the strongest gankers for mid lane. That's usually his biggest strength. Vigar doesn't have enough damage early on, doesn't have enough harass early on. So it's just kind of a wasted opportunity there. But I don't know, we'll see. It's most of the pressure is going to be on top lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because whoever you've mentioned it before, Jax and Darius, whoever does start snowballing first, to just kind of keep the ball rolling downhill, and hopefully they'll be able to go ahead and start winning the fights as you start hitting in mid game, heading into late game. But also there's the advantage for Maokai as well. His ganks are hella strong, and we've mentioned it before earlier on. Ryze, as soon as that Twisted Advance animation starts, it keeps going. and Rise is not able to actually get the root off onto Maokai before it actually starts.
Yep, no, that's true. I mean, even if he does, then Maokai usually gets like gives him the benefit of the doubt and just says, okay, we'll snare you after the twisted advance. So, yeah, both of them will get it off. It's pretty actually a common experience.
So here we are loading on up game number 2, set number 2. It's getting late, man.
No, we're good.
It's getting to that, and hey, we're gonna have some Vygar.
It's got some twisty mustaches for us.
There you go. We're gonna have some variations here in the way we're playing our Vygar. We had the Baron before. I was hoping for the Leprechaun. I was looking to see if we can.
That's game 3.
That's game. If this does hit game 3, Nijaki will play Leprechaun Vygar, and we're all gonna learn a very valuable lesson on how to indeed taste the rainbow. But okay, now we're going crazy. Yeah. Now we're just getting silly. But here we are.
Both teams have a pretty strong level 1, so they will want to watch out. I think that mTw's is probably a little bit stronger when you consider the Rise Snare and the Darius hook. But Jax, if he gets right in the middle of the team, and then Vygar, he'll get his stun potentially, it can be pretty strong. And Sona's damage level 1 is actually really great at just picking off one target. So you pick off one target and you get out of there. They're just going to throw down the Maokai sapling, sit back, play kind of defensively.
Yep. And you see there's a lot of pings going down from mTw, but they just want to go ahead. They're playing defensive. They're securing all of their entrances. They just want to make sure that they're not invaded in any way whatsoever. And it appears that Xmithy is actually going to be starting Wraiths, going red, and then may very well see a level 2 gank top lane. Did he actually buy any skills yet? Or
for
Xmithy?
Lee Sin.
There you go. No, he is not. So, he's just waiting to see if they do get invaded. Also, considering the options, but usually you'll see sometimes the Lee Sin getting the Q first, then going for the shield, just so you have all that mobility trying to get in for those ganks.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. It will be pretty strong. He is starting off at the red side, so that is a potential. Ezreal and Soraka, as a result, they will be able to grab the wolves. So, they're going to be in a nice position for Graves and Sona. And actually, Graves and Sona not even going for the mini golems here. Cop maybe wanted to, so
okay.
Yeah, he's actually going to go for it.
He's still gonna. So Lee Sin, there you go. He's got the Q first. He's going to go ahead, grab the Wraiths, and then the red after. Oh, actually, no. He's going with the rest of the team, trying to real quick invade on this blue. Nijaki has gone to the mid lane, and now this is mTw's time to go in for this quick invade. And Curse knows. Wow.
Yeah,
really
so this
aggressive.
is actually, this is such a great start because St. Vicious, they don't have a lot of options here. They almost have to engage this, but they can't win this. So Westrice actually coming in, trying to get down Xmithy.
Oh,
they will have the stun as well.
Very low, though. He does have to flash away. He is ignited. Westrice, can he possibly get something there? But he did get the stun first, so he's not going to be able to pile on the damage into Lee Sin, and Xmithy will actually get out of there.
Yeah, so the big thing is Maokai, not only is his blue gone, and he's a very, blue hungry jungler, but he's also wasted all of his saplings and everything trying to get the blue.
Wow.
So
yeah, he has to back. He has to back level 1. That's crazy.
And he started off with boots too. So a lot of times you'll start off with a regrowth pendant to get a fast Philosopher's Stone, and then he could have maybe had a quick catch up, but he is just really far behind. It's going to be a real big struggle for him. And then they knew, all right, so Maokai is so far behind, we almost have to fight this and hope that we can get something to try and catch back up, but they didn't have any damage. They just, it was only Jax. Vygar didn't really have anything. They used an Ignite even when there was really no chance of killing anyone.
Ignite and Maokai's Flash is also down too. So that could actually even open up possibilities for Xmithy to possibly invade the red. He's already taken his blues, already taken his wolves. If he can start aggressively invading St. Vicious, he's going to have no escape. He can't get away.
Yeah, that really kind of sets the tone for this whole game so far. We'll see how they kind of, do based on this. He is level 2 now. He did clear this race. He will be able to clear the red here, so he's going to get kind of low, but his smite is back up, so he's going to be okay and be able to take this.
Xmithy now also going back to the Wraiths once again, and then he already picked up his blue. Should go ahead and now pick up his red. And then from there on, well, top lane is a little bit pushed out. Don actually now recalling, picks up a ward, wants to be safe in his lane, does not want to be ganked, does not really want to give any advantages to Maokai at this point if he ever does come up. And cloth armor for himself as well, trying to negate some of the Jax damage. Who's getting low? Maokai is actually getting low in his own jungle. But, it's okay. It's fine. He secured the small golems. He's going to go ahead, go back, and buy.
Yeah, so in the meantime, Balls has to play a little bit more defensively right now while Soraka runs around, gets some wards out to protect against the Maokai since those ganks may be kind of imminent in that mid lane, though I'm not sure that they would have enough damage even if, Maokai would gank. So
better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a safe thing, and they want to just sit back and farm and don't want to give up any sort of early advantages.
And even then, even if they do manage to catch Maokai out, if you see him possibly going for a gank in mid and then transitioning through the river to bot, he's pretty weak now. So actually, mTw may actually go in for a pretty quick tree sandwich for the kill.
Yeah, and Xmithy actually setting himself up top. There is no ward currently for Jax. He has one with him that he's going to try and place, but it's
Rude awakening.
Yeah, it's going to be a really dangerous gank for him. If he walks right into this, he's probably going to drop it right now.
There's you go. There's the slow. Triggering the stun. He only does get Darius on that one, but he has to put the ward. He actually had to put the ward down so he could jump to it.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
The other risk was that he was going to get pulled back,
but
actually Maokai coming in,
Saint
and there's
Vicious.
Holy It's Dawn is here. He has the pullback if he needs to. Westrice coming in, gets some damage onto Xmithy. They actually have to back off, so this is actually worked out very well for
now
Curse.
joining the fight as well. Can he get the stun and the damage? Don does manage to flash away. Nijaki flashes in response. Shield going down onto Darren, and now first blood will actually be going to the Lee Sin. Vigar just getting the kill barely, but now Mandatory Cloud is here to play as well. Just a little bit extra damage on the Saint Vicious. Something, anything. There you go. The root. Another kill for Rise. This is crazy good for mTw.
Yeah, and it's just insane that Vigar wasn't able to pick up the kill.
I know. Those
initially
shields
on Darian. Yeah.
That shield.
And Vigar just doesn't have enough damage at this point. You have some bursts, but then you have long cooldowns, no follow-up damage, no sustained damage.
Yep.
So they're able to, pull off stuff like that. And all of a sudden, it looked like it maybe was a good opportunity for Curse, but it turns into a 3v1 situation for mTw. Real heads-up play.
That was crazy. But you see, that's the thing. That's the situation. You have both of the mids going on up to try and capitalize on those kills. And Rise definitely came out ahead in that one. He has a goal advantage. He's got his tier. Gets the Ruby Crystal. He's going to be working, I believe, possibly for a Catalyst, which will then be built into the Banshee's Veil. But you see Vigar, he's got the lucky pick. He's got a Fairy Charm, maybe building a Philo Stone as well. But stacking GP10's not the it's a pretty good idea. But he will also be ready for the DFG when it comes around. But there you go. Bot lane, Twisted Advance, Saint Vicious trying to get some damage down onto Balls, trying to set up something for the rest of the team. But Muffin Cutie does get caught out, does get ignited, and Cop does get a quick kill onto the Soraka. But right now, Jack's top lane, though. Westrice, he gets chunked out pretty huge.
Oh, wow.
He got chunked out pretty huge.
The Lee Sin had come up there, pretty aggressive gank, but Darius missed the first pull, so I would think that would be kind of a signal for Jax to step back a second, that maybe there's a gank
Darius,
coming.
he's still going in, though. He's got his ult. Can he find Westrice? Oh, he's right there in the Tri-Brush.
He's just pushing
He's
the wave.
sticking around. Jax is staying around. This could be a huge mistake here. Target going down onto Darius, but 1-2, a quick Q and an auto attack, and then ult could actually mean doom for Jax. He wants this kill, just not within leap strike range.
Yeah, and the big thing is Saint Vicious coming up here allows Jax to pick up all this golden experience, so he's not going to fall behind, which he was very close to doing. Nijaki almost going down Mandatory Cloud, getting on some nice damage. Mandatory
Cloud, he's taking this opportunity to push a little bit. Nijaki has to go grab the blue real quick, keep it for himself. Oh, I thought that was an accidental take for a second. I saw the meteor come down. Okay, so Nijaki secured the blue. He's going to go back. He's going to go buy. How much gold does he have? I can't imagine too much.
544.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. If he really wants to, he can buy. If he really wants to, he can buy a Dorn's Ring. Though. But he could also start working if he is indeed going for a Philo, so he can go ahead and get that regrowth pendant too.
No, he just picked up the cages and a couple of wards, so he's going to be safe. He just wants to farm for a little bit, and he probably will pick up that Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. So now Element's coming back in, put a ward right there in front of the dragon. And you gotta make some consideration right now for the ADs. Balls 59 and to Cop's 63, so it's still pretty even lane. But the thing is, though, you do have Cop. He does have a kill to his credit, equals about 20 creeps. But Nijaki wandering down bot, nothing really to be gained there.
Yeah, he wants some kills. Not going to happen.
He's a little hungry. He just kind of wants to get a little bit of farm, get a little fed. But Smithy is also not too far behind, but the ward in that side bush does spot him out, and he will be spotted again, going it through the dragon area, looking to go from behind into the tri-brush. So right now, Curse, they're not completely confident about where Smithy is at the moment, but if they do decide to push into the tower, they could be in for a surprise.
Yeah, the gap closing capabilities for Lee Sin are really strong for coming through the lane ganks.
He's going to back off. He's going to go farm the walls, go back to raids. His red is actually respawned, so if he wants those ganks to be super strong, he's probably going to want to go ahead and grab that first.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Darius still doing a nice job top, but Jax has pulled himself back into this lane.
Yep.
He's going to be able to pick up a lot of this farm. That's going to help catch him even. And then, as it progresses, he will have enough damage where he can just kind of bully around Darius. So we'll see. It's a little bit longer from now, probably around like level 10 when he can start doing that.
So Night Jackie coming back into the mid mandatory cloud. He's got a mandatory cloud has actually got a pretty huge farm advantage.
They might ult actually. Sona does have the ult. If they hit Sona, I thought he might go after both Ezreal and Soraka.
Yeah,
I think they have the burst.
They do have the. Here's the thing though, they still don't have vision on Lee Sin though. I think that's the problem because they did see him actually wander on up. I'm sure they've assumed that he's backed or something, but he's still actually close by. But once they see Lee Sin, we'll be actually walking through past the ward, trying to make something happen on mid. So there you go. That is the symbol for Helmets to actually go in with the ult. They got vision on Lee, so they know it's safe. But the ignite on balls, he's still actually going to live, and Helmets actually getting super low. But here comes Rise and Lee Sin. They're now starting to wander in, possibly towards bot, but there you go. There is a ward placed right in front of the race, trying to make something happen onto Saint Vicious. He's going to have to back off, but I think they may actually wander bot to try and make something happen.
Yeah, just barely not able to pick up the kill, and that was the concern, was that they're just not going to be able to pick it up, and then Soraka's going to heal up, and they're going to lose the lane as a result. Jackie throwing off the shield. Yeah, he's
way to be a champ. Stun. Take a bullet for you. Nice hook onto West Rice. Jackson got a little bit of damage, but does indeed miss the stun.
Can actually take him down.
He could actually. He's got full stacks wing. He's got the ignite down. This evades. There's the flash and the dunk. Dawn getting the kill on the West Rice top lane.
Almost a nice juke from West Rice, and now actually MTW, they're going to be going for this dragon
as well. Done.
They grab it.
It's already over. We come down to see the show. It's like, hey, dragon's in nope, it's gone. And it's gone.
And it's gone.
I gotta watch that episode again. That was so good.
I was just telling Nick that he needs to watch that.
He hasn't watched that episode
I won't
yet?
tell him. No, I was going to a different episode, but it's for a private reason, so I actually won't bring it up. But
okay. I'm just saying, Nick, you're missing out. You gotta watch the episode of South Park, man.
Yeah. But in the meantime, 2K gold advantage for MTW, and they have a really strong mid-game team. They have a really strong laning phase as well, so they can continue to push this advantage. Later in the game, once Curse can kind of get their AoE going, things could maybe turn out differently. But right now, I think MTW, they're looking pretty good. They can just continue to push this advantage.
So now Lee Sin. Ooh, Smithy actually, I think he's looking to try and set up something top lane. He's actually going into the top bush, possibly to try and get another kill here. Try and make something happen here onto Jax, just waiting for the lane to just push out just a little bit. Don sitting back, waiting for the opportunity. And, there is the Dragon Kick available. They could just kick Jax out of position. But meanwhile, bot lane, the tower's getting very low, and Cops is getting shots whenever he can. And there you go, Tier 1 going down for Curse.
Yeah, and they're just waiting for West Rice to just come. Take one of the minions, please.
Come on. He's trying to bait him in, but he's actually doing really good. He's controlling the wave actually really well, keeping it put, keeping it. Oh, there you go, walked right into the bush, West Rice, and there's the kick backwards, stun going down on Darius, but he does leap straight to a minion. Night Jackie is here, stun going down. Smithy managing to get out of that one, but here comes the hook. There's a lot of damage coming in from Darius. There's a lot of damage available on Jax as well. He's got the ult popped. There's going to be a little bit more resist, but you know what? MTW knows. The opportunity is gone. Saint Vicious is nearby too. Ward spotted him out. They're just going to back off.
Yeah, and so they do. Night Jackie's going to be able to grab this blue and just can kind of continue farming. He's still behind Rise, though. Rise taking nice control over that lane. Cop coming after balls. There's no tower to protect him, but he is able to get out of there.
So this is actually a really good, exciting game. Oh, there's stun Root and stun, mutual and mid.
You see, Nijaki just doesn't have much damage right now. No. Yes, it's only 2 levels into the Dark Matter, and Viger does scale very well with levels.
Here's the thing, though, but Rise has a level and a half advantage on him because he's like Viger's been leaving lane.
And Rise is just going to build so much health that it's going to be hard for Vigar to burst him down.
Yeah, Nijaki, he's been leaving lane quite a bit to try and fish for these kills, to try and get something, and they're just not paying off. All the while, Mandatory Cloud, he's just staying put. He's just farming. Soaking in all the experience and gold.
Yeah, and so far, Darius has done a really nice job, in this top lane. Jax is really far behind where he would normally want to be. Going with the Tabby, actually, when most of Darius' damage, it actually doesn't come from his auto attacks. It's just kind of the spells and his passive in particular. But Wester's actually jumping onto him, gets off the stun, but he is getting kind of low, trying to bait Darius in, I think, to see if maybe the tower will take him down for you.
Maokai's not too far behind St. Vicious. If he did press it, but he's like, oh, you know what? I've played this this baity pulley Rudy thing game before. I'm not going to fall for that again.
Yeah, and so Darius, he's a little bit low right now, but he has enough killing potential that he can take down Jax. And actually, Maokai coming up top, so he does spot him at the ward. The Oracles for St. Vicious once again.
Very well done. It's always a good purchase. Mandatory Cloud just trying to scare Nijaki, but you saw the ward being cleared. You should realize right now that Maokai is not too far behind. But does see him though. There's ward placed from Curse right by mTw's Wraiths. So he's going to take that, and Lee Sin, he's in the neighborhood. His red is up. May want to go ahead and clear that as soon as he gets the opportunity. But right now, bot lane 2, Balls and Muffin Cutie, they're taking their turn to go ahead and start pushing the lane. Maybe you'll give Curse a little bit of a run for her money.
Yeah, but once Cop hits level 11, I think they'll probably go in once again onto Soraka, try and just burst her down, because I feel like they, almost have enough damage. The issue is they're kind of scared of Ezreal right now, and the fact that if Soraka throws off the heal, they don't get the kill. Now all of a sudden they're, they've put themselves in a poor situation, and Ezreal's just kind of beating on them.
And Cop had to back, so that's going to be just free damage on the turret outright. Balls just plugging away. He actually may be able to get that thing to half if he really wants to, but no, he's happy with the damage he's done. And actually, St. Vicious is actually in the neighborhood as well. Ooh, takes out a pink ward too. Those things are delicious.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Lee Sin coming up in the top lane. Xmithie could just tower dive this against Jax. And actually, we have the pull. There is the stun, so he could just bait it out already. There's the pull.
There's the slow. There's the damage. Westrace does manage to flash away, but Don, he's taking turret pretty well. Nice ward in that tri-brush to get away. Very well done. Nice leap strike.
Yeah, really nice play from both of them. Darius beating out the stun once it's gone, going back in. And I'm kind of surprised that they weren't able to pick up the kill, but in the meantime, Nijaki just going to be farming some of these wraiths, but Rise is just constantly wearing him down, and because Nijaki doesn't have enough damage for harass or to kill him, Rise can just walk up and damage him.
Xmithie's going to be meeting St. Vicious on the way to go try and get this gank. The wave not going to be connecting, and what the hell happened with that kick?
Yeah, he lost vision on the kick, so it just canceled.
And reset. The cooldown did not actually get burned. So there you go. Flash from St. Vicious, trying to get a root, something, anything, twisted advance on anybody, somebody. Nobody.
Yeah, he wanted the root. I mean, the rest of his team is there, so he definitely wants that root. In
wow!
The meantime,
Everyone's here.
Ezreal is going to be pushing down the
bottom lane.
So they are going to get the bottom turret, but as a result, Curse is going to get the top turret, so they're making something happen.
Let him happen.
Yeah, and that's fine by them.
Yeah, even exchange. Just don't give them.
They're
any
actually
kills
probably
in the
going to get the second, the tier 2 as well.
They may very well, but there you go. Now there's the even exchange. There's the turret for the turret, but. Yeah, Curse, they're continuing this push. They don't have the biggest of waves here, but if you get a nice pull from Darius, that could be something huge. Stun go down for Viger, not quite getting anything. Xmithie does. Questionable engage. He just goes right on and melts immediately, but Jax does manage to go down. So, I mean, it was a 1 for 2. But here's the thing, though. Now, you still have balls. He's still bot lane pushing. There's been a pretty good deflected there at the top tier 2, but now Muffin Cutie is there to help out a little bit, and now all of Curse is starting to recall. Will Balls actually be able to get that tier 2 in bot?
Yeah, I mean, it actually worked very well for them, and he won't. Viger is going to be there in time, so
okay, he's backing off.
Going to back off.
He's backing off with just enough time.
But the thing is, Curse is forcing mTw into a dangerous situation, and they forced mTw to to fight 5v3, which is at their disadvantage. Fortunately for mTw, they're able to get 1 kill on Jax. That almost could have just been a good exchange for Curse, but they either had to 1 back and risk losing a large portion of their base, or 2 lose a 5v3 fight. And mTw doing a nice job of exchanging there, preventing that from going too positive from Curse.
And despite all this madness, all this action, the gold once again bang on even for now. There is a dragon. It is back up. mTw is right there in position. I don't think there's really sufficient coverage from Curse. I don't think they know.
Yeah, no, they don't. So the dragon will go down. Actually, they're going to back off it because they're concerned about this push from Curse. Curse just aggressively pushing the towers, wants to come into this mid lane. And now they can start to use their AoE control. They can control the fights with the Vigar stun, not going to hit someone.
Smithy laying in wait. He wants to kick somebody. He wants to kick somebody now. But there you go. There's everyone. Everyone is right here gathering on mid. A nice pull from Darius could also mean doom for someone over those walls. But there you go. Forcing the dragon fight. Lee Sin can actually take the dragon out of zone. And there you go. Darius evading the sapling. Does not want to deal with that. Speed buff coming down from Sona. Just trying to see if they can make something happen. But there you go. Dragon has gone down. And Curse is looking to engage. Jax right out there in front. Vigar trying to chunk somebody out. But Smithy right there in the middle of everything. There you go. Darius with the ult. And then some extra damage manages to take down Jax with a little bit of help from Ezreal. And now Curse is in a full retreat. Xmithy's very low though, but those shields don't want to be sticking your neck out too far. The stun, Xmithy, you may go down here. No, does manage to get out of the way of the meteor.
Yeah, and right now, mTw is just too tanky for Curse. Curse just doesn't have enough damage output.
Yeah.
They can't burst anyone down. Vigar needs more farm.
Graves
needs more farm.
I think Vigar kind of forgot that he has a DFG in that fight because it hasn't been used.
Well, the big thing is picking your targets, but yeah. Maybe. I think the thing that Curse needs to use their advantage, though, is that they have the initiation advantage over mTw. And mTw, head-to-head, their team is stronger. They, are more difficult to kill. They have, really nice synergy in this comp. But Curse, with the Vigar stun, with Sona, with her movement speed and her ultimate, her movement speed in particular, so that allows them to disengage very easily or also engage. So they have the initiation potential. They just need to be able to pick people off, and they just don't quite have the damage for it yet.
Yeah, and it's still a very scary game. It's about a K and a half. It's about 1,500 gold separating these two teams, and really just any fight that swings into either team's favor, just go ahead and just swing this completely out of control. But the thing is, you do have Ryze, who's been farming extremely well. But you also got some really good farm onto Graves as well. There's a lot of gold being shared, between huge, all the carries on both teams, and this is rough, man.
Yeah, we'll see. But Curse, they can stall the game, for a significant period of time with the Vigar pick. Vigar can just constantly clear out the waves as long as they don't get picked off, as long as they don't give mTw too many advantages, which is why Curse, for the most part, wants to be kind of defensive and not force fights, because if they ever lose a fight, then, whoa, wow.
Mandatory Cloud with the flash. He does pop the ult for the extra movement speed, but does not get what he wanted. He wanted that root down on the Vigar. He wanted a quick kill, but just did not get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't have a good means of initiating. It's just not in them. Darius getting the top tower.
Nice.
So that always helps. But they can't force a fight. They don't have enough range with Ezreal in order to push down towers. So they're at the whim of Curse right now for the tempo of the game. And yes, they're ahead, but
Nightjack could have actually gotten stun on Smithy, but he just didn't quite want it there because you have the rest of the team here. Could have piled on so much damage and just killed him outright. But here's the thing, though. You do have pretty decent means of wave clearing, though, on mTw. I mean, you have Ezreal. You could just go ahead and fire out that True Shot Barrage, just take out an entire wave. Lee Sin's pretty fast. Ryze is pretty fast. You can go ahead and just get those Qs coming in from Darius. Well, that was a pretty hefty stun from Nightjacky, though, but no capitalization. There you go. Going for the root. Cop does manage to dash out, though. The Sona ult not getting a whole lot.
Yeah, and you see Curse is forced to use their abilities in a defensive nature because they're losing all the fights and everything.
Right.
But they're still using them in a defensive nature,
which
just means that they can't kill mTw. Like, they don't really have those kind of options at this point in time.
West Rice is not with the team. He is top lane. Was split pushing just for a little bit, forcing Dawn to actually just leave the rest of the team, go back, have to deal with the wave. But Jax is now back. But this is a 4-on-4 push. So Mandatory Club may actually get caught here. Actually, Vigar does gun as well. So Nightjacky gets an AP for an AP. Even trade.
Yeah, that's kind of what Curse wants. They want to be able to take out Rise in particular, and then just disengage. And very quickly they can disengage. You know, they get to decide the tempo of the game.
Oh, hook in from Darius. Gets Sona with that one, and everyone's in the full fight. xMthy getting very low there. Here comes the dunk. Does get the kill on the Maokai West Race. Will he be able to get out of this one? Leeson does go down in the process. Balls is extremely low, but he's doing a very good job staying at the back line. Holy Don, triple kill with the dunk. Elements, can you get that as well?
Yes.
Quadra kill onto Curse. That's the power of the dunk, baby.
Yeah, Darius very easily picking that up. So, that, you know, nice fun fight for them. You know, it is a concern for them though when Rise is down that they just can't finish up. Like, or sorry, Curse. They want to get rid of Rise because once Rise is down, Jax is going to be extremely strong against this mostly physical team from mTw. His dodge in particular can really control a lot of the fights. And so you saw they were almost able to win the fight, despite the fact that the previous fights had gone much more drastically against them. Once Rise is down, it starts to swing towards Curse's favor, that Rise for Vygar exchange. So, you know, we'll see whether or not that's the case later. But Darius, you know, obviously in the longer fights can do extremely well. So picking up the Quadra.
Very well done. Extremely well done. We were talking about NBA Jam earlier. I wish the game said Boom Shakalaka. I really, really wish it did.
And then they bring little cheerleaders. We should get cheerleader overlays. We'll get little cheerleaders, you know, that just, I don't know, right around here maybe.
Oh,
right
no, we got it. No, we have to have our overlay there. Other side.
All right, there we go. Right
there
over
we
here.
go. Now we got some room. Now we have some space management.
Poorly pixelated cheerleaders.
Yeah, why not? But there we go. So you got mTw with an amazing team fight there, and Don was just so much gold leaving that fight. He's got the Maw, he's got the Phage as well. Might actually be he could be building that to Frozen Mallet even, or even Trinity would actually be pretty nasty in its own. Either way, either one's pretty good at this point in the game. Also, stacking the GP10s. He's had the Heart of Gold. He's had the Feel of Stone for a while, so yep, that's always a good thing. But xMthy, he's been a champ. He's been actually, you know, getting into these fights, getting involved, getting low, yet still managing to get out of most of these situations. But however, they are being pressured here. Curse, they can muscle their way in. They can grab the tier 1 because Darius isn't here. He was too busy, you know, taking care of business elsewhere. He wasn't in town. He was out away on business.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how mTw, if they can kind of continue this, but the issue is they don't have a good means of ending, and so they can go get the dragon, but again, the game is just going to continue to stall for Curse, where they can just constantly push into a later and later game, at which point, you know, the concern comes whether or not Jax can become unstoppable, whether or not Vygar can just, you know, insta-kill, you know, Rise and then maybe still live. I don't know. We'll have to just see. It's just it's going to be very difficult for mTw to finish this game.
Yeah.
But they are starting to get to the point where they can pressure a Baron.
Yeah.
You know, they have a decent Baron clearing speed with 3 Bruisers.
And not to mention too, if Curse really wants to get in on them in his tight close quarters area like Baron, you have the hook, you have the root. There's a lot of like counter-initiating possibilities here on mTw, but you know, like you said though, they can't be the ones making these calls. But they can go ahead and force the objectives. Like, you know, they swoop in, take Dragon. They can swoop in and take Baron, and they can just go ahead and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, we'll see though. No oracles on them yet. Does Leeson have an oracles? He does. So
okay, there
he
you
can
go.
clear out, but he doesn't even care. He just walks right past wards.
Yep.
So, you know, really using that oracles to its full advantage.
Oh,
Curse.
oh no, he's going in. Why is he going in so deep on this? He does get stunned. Oh no! Don't be losing that oracles just yet. Oh, that. Oh, double kill coming down in onto Copies. Is still in pursuit.
Too.
Saint Vicious, he's here, but now Don, can you try and make the best of the situation? Soraka is nearby, but you don't want to be 1v4ing in this situation. No, that's going to be a very bad engage, but nice capitalization there on
Jax
Curse.
On Muffin Cutie, he gets the flash just barely, but they could finish it up. But the big issue is now they're going to get a Baron, and all of a sudden, mTw, you know, I'll say it, Leeson,
you screwed up,
throwing
man.
It for a second.
You screwed up, man.
Yeah, they're trying to force fights, and that's the issue. You get frustrated when you can't control the tempo, and Curse is in complete control of the tempo of this game, despite the fact that mTw was ahead. And so getting caught out, if Curse can hit their reset rotation on Vigar, then that's probably a one fight, because Vigar, he has kind of long cooldowns, and in between the cooldowns, he doesn't really have a whole lot to do. He just kind of twiddles his thumbs. But if you can hit the stuns and whatnot, they're very easily able to chain their disables against the short range team, and having disables against a short range team is a huge advantage. So we'll see if that kind of continues. mTw, they need to kind of wait out the Baron now, and all of a sudden. Yeah. 5K gold lead, I think, something like that.
It's gone.
It's gone, and not only that, but Curse also has Baron, and they're getting into that late game that we kind of talked about, but it happened a little bit faster than mTw kind of wanted.
Yeah, so with that, Curse can go ahead, take their advantage, push down whatever opportunity may lie. But here's the thing, though, I do enjoy what Darius is actually doing. He's taking his time. He's just taking the opportunity to farm a little bit as well. I think if we got like 2 of them off that. But that's the thing, though. We're seeing Don a lot, making stops up to top lane to just try and go ahead, get all that farm, try and retain his lead. But here's the thing, though, is like when a lot of these fights are, thinking about starting, he's not with the rest of the team. Even then, when Lee Sin did go in, just Don wasn't there. He came in later.
Lee Sin was trying to pick someone off, and the flash over the wall, Lee Sin's Q followed a little bit longer than I think he thought it would.
Yeah.
Rise trying to follow it up, trying to burst someone down, and he went down as well. Darius is trying. Don was trying to keep the lanes pushed, and you need to keep the lanes pushed in order so that when you win a fight, you can then push. Like if all of the lanes are pushed in against you, and you win a fight, then you spend all of the downtime when your opponents are dead, just running around killing creeps, and you're like, wow, this feels really pathetic. So you need to keep the lanes pushed. In the meantime, I don't know. We'll see whether or not mTw can still just overrun Curse. But there's a very serious threat that, maybe they just can't do it anymore. So, we'll see. They were winning the fights pretty handily before those deaths.
But here's the thing that I'm also noticing this too. Like, this is one of the disadvantages of Lee Sin too, is that if you're a little bit behind.
This is a really nice bait, though. This would be a great opportunity for them to get in. But Sona, immediately, she just throws off her movement speed so they can just get back there. Nice. And they have no means of engaging.
There you go. Also, whatever harassment elements can get. Mandatory Cloud chunked out immediately. Cop is going to be able to go ahead and get the elements with the ult, getting 3 members of mTw, and now that's West Race's time to go ahead and shine. Cop getting another kill, getting the double kill, and there you go. Yeah, elements getting part of these kills as well, but the ace, Night Jackie swooping on in.
This game's over. Like, to be perfectly honest, Curse has it. So mTw, I'm not going to call it the throw. I'm going to call it the catch from mTw. No, hooray! It's a positive spin.
No, I'm going to call it the throw.
It's a throw.
But
the thing is, Curse, they were positioned for this to happen. Like, the way this game was going to turn out, they constantly had tempo over the game. They're able to decide when the fights are going to happen, so they get to stall until this happens, basically.
Yeah.
Which is, they get to a point where they can, kill people instantly with Vigar. And so, because they have the initiation advantage, basically what happens, mTw sits around, they sit around, they're like, yeah, we want to fight, we don't have an option to fight. And then Curse, the second mTw is slightly out of position, they get to say, okay, boom, you're dead. And that's the power of the Vigar. They have enough burst damage now to do it. So they just they just wait and they play defensively. And then when they know the time is right, they kill one person and then they can easily disengage. And the fact that mTw, they have no means of following up on it, it's tough now. They were at a point earlier in the game where they were strong enough where they could kind of bully around Curse, and it didn't matter that Curse could disengage because mTw could bully them around still. Now that's not the case, and Curse has enough damage to single target burst almost anyone in the game, and that's when the Vigar automatically wins. When you play it right, when you have the Vigar, when you have the Sona with it, and the enemy team has no means of engaging.
Yep. However, to put a little bit more better light on the situation, though, Baron buff is now down.
Yes, that's true.
Is going to be back up in about 2-3 minutes. So there is an opportunity for, there is one last opportunity right now for mTw to try and make something happen here. There is a hook going down on the St. Vicious. The team is a little bit split right now. Night Jackie is in the back, waiting for the root, waiting for all the damage. Holiest Don does have to get out of there. There's the Sona ult, keeping pretty much everyone from mTw still, but there's Xsmithy right out in front and does get killed. Mandatory Cloud being engaged upon. Cop does manage to just go ahead. Bang, bang, you're dead. mTw, 2 more guys down, and Curse, they've taken that advantage that they were given, and they're just running away with it outright.
They just have no possible way of beating them in fights now. It's not possible at this point. They had a team that needed to continue with their mid-game advantage, and Curse automatically has, just traded it. So Curse able to get a second inhibitor. The Vigar stun misses, but it doesn't matter. There's another inhibitor. They can transition in the bottom lane. It was a really nice job from Curse. They had a team that they know, all right, we just hold off. We can win this late game, particularly against this melee team that has no means of engaging. They have very short-range initiation.
Don trying to do his best, but it's not going to be for the best. The hook going in on the Westrice, but the stun from Vigar. Westrice does actually go down, and Smithy does really go in. He's committed, but there you go. Vigar from a distance. Graves, triple kill. There's too much to deal with Mandatory Cloud, and there you go. That is the ace, and this is it. Game number 2, quadruple, going to end it with Cop. Game 2 going to Curse. We're going the distance here tonight, folks. This is quite insane. This is quite nuts. Curse came out with the reset. mTw wins game 1, and then they had it.
Yeah.
mTw had it, man.
Yeah, it feels like they had it, but the more and more I think, I'm not so sure that because they didn't have a means of ending the game, and that was the threat the entire time.
Yeah.
They were ahead, but they couldn't force the issue, and what they needed was, in the next couple of minutes to start being able to pressure Baron and then just be able to run them down. But it was just the fact that all the initiation was on Curse, and they were able to control the tempo of the game the entire time, and that was how they won. That was it turned out all right for them.
Yeah, it was the kick that echoed around the world, I guess. But you know what? We're just gonna go ahead, try and quickly get into game number 3, try and finish the night out. The last game gonna decide who gets the $1,000, who gets the first seed. mTw.NA and Curse gonna be going to quite possibly our last commercial break of the night. We will be back soon. Stay tuned.